Hello, David here, and I am going to disassemble and reassemble this rotary tool. It is Milwaukee Tool catalog number 2460. If I can get everything in focus. There it is. The dash 20 always means tool only, so the dash 20 is the tool. Alright, so we are going to disassemble this, and the reason for that is I'm going to lube up the mechanical parts because I'm not happy with the noise it's making. So when it starts and stops, you can hear a certain noise. When it gets going, it seems to quiet down a little bit. So I think a little bit of lubrication will take care of that. So let's disassemble this and grease it up and put it back together. Okay, first things first, we're going to take a 3-inch wrench, hold down the lock, undo the end to remove the tool out of there. I was using a wire brush. Alright, now we're going to need a Torx screwdriver. We're going to need to take the battery out. Milwaukee battery. I highly recommend Milwaukee battery. I do use some batteries made out of Chinesium, but you can see this thing has been kind of beat up over time. I mean, gosh, it is at least 8 years old, if not older. And anyway, you would think that this is not a testament to the quality of the battery because it gets broken off and glued back together and whatnot like that. But in fact, I know you pay a little premium for the brand, you know, they got a little more marketing going on, but hey, they've never failed me, ever. Alright, let's get some electrons in there. Alright, it had me worried for a little while. It was flashing red and green, red and green, red and green, so that means it's done. After I just said it lasted years and years and years. But I just took it out, put it back in, now it's charging. Alright, tip of the day. I've been doing this a lot in my videos. It's hot summertime. Just brought the car in the garage. That makes it hot in the garage. So we put on these cotton gloves as liners. It helps with the sweat, and it helps with taking the gloves on and off. So when I was in industry, had to dress out in protective clothing. That's what we did. And then your nitrile gloves will just slide right on, and when you take them off, you can still take them off easily. Alright, looks like the T10 fits the best, so we'll use that. So we'll get this on here and take out the screws. How many are there? So there are 5 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a clip. And then at the top, we need to unscrew this end off of here. Alright, screws out, and we're going to be careful not to lose them, because that's always fun. Alright, for this clip, you just kind of bend the tongue out a little bit. You don't need to go overboard, because you need to bend it back because it locks in place. So we'll bend that out a little bit and then slide it off and take out the rest of the screws. Alright, let's see if I can do this on camera. Did that get it? I'm really going to have to bend it, aren't I? Oh, there it is. Now the trick is getting underneath there and not shooting it across the room. Oh, wait, let me put it in my tool tray. I like to have a tool tray. Helps a little bit. And it really is nice to have a magnetized tip. It really helps a lot. Now I've already split the seal split the label, which suggests that I have taken this off before, taken this apart. I really don't remember that, but I probably did. Oh, look at that stuff flying everywhere. So let me figure out where all this stuff goes. Well, let's start tearing it up. Comes out as a unit. I'm sure this little rubber piece here goes on the back of the motor. That's where I'm going to put it. Looks like it fits on there like that. So let's see what else I can get apart here. Alright, well, this project's a complete bust. I got a sealed bearing here. It's a little bit dirty. I do see some debris in there. This case covering is more of an alignment tab for this slot right here. See, they kind of bent that down and put it in place. It's all electrical. There's a bearing on the front, bearing on the back, long shaft, end of story. So there's no gearing. So all I can do is clean it up with electrical cleaner and make sure it's dry before I reassemble it. Carefully clean the bearings so I don't wash any grease that's in the sealed bearing out of there. I really do not want to take that apart. Yeah, I don't want to take that apart. So I'll just clean that up a little bit, see what happens. Alright, there were two screws on the end. They are extremely small, teeny tiny little screws. I don't know what the heck they were for. I'll just put those back in. Alright, I'll put these ridiculously small screws in place, which I don't know what they're for. I have no idea why they're even there. Maybe during assembly or something they were needed. Alright, they're in place and snugged down. So I have this all cleaned up. I also changed gloves. It feels better, but you know, that's not the test. So let's reassemble this thing. Alright, battery's all charged up. We're ready to go. Alright, for reassembly, here's the locking switch when you change tools. So that's going to go here. This slot is going to go down between the split like that. This board here, the wheel, is going to go in this cutoff right here and live in this area here. The battery holder has a little tab right here. It's going to go in that slot right there. The switch has two black knobs on it, and they are going to ride on these posts right here. The switch can only go in one way. There's a little tab on there, a little tooth or something, and no matter how you try, it will not go on but one way, even if you try and put it together in the other half. Alright, let's get going. Alright, just one last little detail. There's a little slot right here, if you can see it. There's two bumps right there, and if you go straight up to this slot, that's where the circuit board lives. So for reassembly, I'm going to put the circuit board in its place, then I'm going to put the switch in its place, and then I'm going to put the battery stop in its place. So the two wires for the micro switch are going to go between the two posts. The battery is going to go in its slot right there. I already showed you where the circuit board goes. And then it'll set the motor. Alright, we'll get the bearing in place. We'll make sure that this stays all together, and it'll go in the hole there. And And that is assembly. Now the fun part, oh, I didn't put the switch in. I'll put the switch in. Alright, don't forget your little end cap here on the back of the motor. Alright, there it is on. Notice how it's held on there by that little side clip, which is also holding the back of the motor in place. Notice how I'm putting the tab over away from the micro switch. Alright, now I'm ready to put the top on. Got to get everything all lined up perfectly for it to go down in place. Should be smooth, no gaps. Put the cap on. Put the clip on. I may have to bend that tongue a little bit so it'll lock into place. Alright, there's the clip going on. You get it started and just push it in the rest of the way. I felt and heard it click. Now we're locked at the top and the bottom. We can start putting our 5 screws in. Alright, I don't really see where there's any order. So I'm just going to put the screws in place, get them started, and then I'll zip them down with the screwdriver, maybe a setting of 2 to start. If that doesn't work, 4, and we'll see how that goes. Alright, before we put the juice to it, send some electrons through the system, I'm going to make sure that the lock works. It didn't really click. Let's see if I can get it to click. There we go. Just to let an audio because you can't feel it. Okay, let's see if I did anything. I hope. Well, the one thing I did is I wiped out the number 2 with the WD-40. Here's 3. Let me turn it up to 4. Alright. Alright, that is more better. Yeah, that is much, much better. Happy I did that. So all I did was really clean up around the end of the motor with some electrical cleaner and WD-40. So that took care of all that noise that we heard at the beginning of the video. So I appreciate your time and thank you for watching.